Hello, my name is Michelle Karn, and today I'm going to discuss the political perspective of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This story is set in a town of Merry Christmas lovers called the Who's that go about their annual holiday preparations. However, up in the caves north of their town, though, there's a character named the Grinch who absolutely hates Christmas. The Grinch has had enough of this Christmas business, and he sets about trying to ruin it for the Who's. He sneaks into all of their home and steals their Christmas decorations, meals, and gifts, an act that is both illegal and extremely Grinchy. He then takes his loot up to Mount Crumpet and prepares to throw it off the side of a mountain. At the last minute, though, the Grinch hears a sound coming from Whoville, the sound of all the Who's joining together in song despite the fact that their homes have been ransacked and their gifts are all gone. Finally, the Grinch feels a twinge of remorse and maybe even a little Christmas spirit, so he brings back all the things that he stole. He arrives in time to join in on the Christmas festivities. Now, while the story may appear as a simple holiday tale at first, upon a closer look, it is a depiction of consumerism in America. As the Christmas season approaches, the number one thing that seems to be on people's minds is stuff. Whether it's decorations, ribbons, bows, presents, food, or holiday-themed cards, Americans can't get enough. We start seeing Christmas decorations out as early as September, and the music begins early in November. This holiday can mean a lot of different things to different people. It's complex. And yet there's one thing we all have in common, and that is spending a lot of money during these few months in preparations for the big day. What Theodore Geisel does is try to combat consumerism with a sense of unity and holiday spirit. He tries to show in this book that there's so much more to the season than just stuff. He tries to show in this book that there's so much more. When the holiday is outlined from the perspective of the Grinch, it seems that Christmas is defined by consumerism and gluttony, as gifts and excessive feasting are prominent elements of the celebratory practices surrounding the holiday. It isn't until the Who's, who are all quite diverse in size, color, and fashion, stand together holding hands and singing that the Grinch realizes there may be more to this holiday after all. He then realizes that even though he took all of the presents, decorations, and food for the feast, that each member of the community are still happy, still embracing one another, and still enjoying their holiday. They also welcome the Grinch to their favorite dinner and forgive him for his wrongdoings. The book's lesson is one that all children of all backgrounds could enjoy. The attack on consumerism and emphasis placed on unity is what makes the story unique and timeless. If you read through the book once more, with the political theme in mind, it may just look a little different to you. For example, the Grinch comes to the first realization that the holiday may not be completely ruined by consumerism when you read that Christmas doesn't come from a store, and that Christmas may be, perhaps, a little bit more. People often argue that the idea of Christmas may be ruined by those that do not practice the Christian faith. However, maybe we need to look at consumerism as the thing ruining the holiday. Maybe instead of only focusing on the religious aspect of Christmas ruin, we need to shift our focus on taking out the gift-giving, feasting, and costly decorations. Then, like the Grinch, we can regain the true meaning of Christmas. Within the book, there's a colorful image of all the Who's down in Whoville standing in a circle, holding hands, singing, and smiling around the Christmas tree. This depicts people coming together after a tragic situation. Instead of being angry or terrified of the Grinch, the Who's take a unified position that embraces differences and brings them together in what could be seen as a sad situation. Their sense of community ends up making the holiday even better than if they had all the materialistic items. This story was written in 1957, and yet Americans are still faced with consumerism, only at an even bigger rate now. We are preoccupied with buying things in this country. During the holiday season, it simply gives us even more reason to buy. People consume things that they can't even afford, whether it's products or food, during the holiday season. We see gluttony among every class system and an attitude that revolves around materialistic items. I think in reading the story or watching the movie, it can provide a reminder for what's really important during the season. The idea of it is better to give than receive comes back to light. And what we once again realize that this holiday is a lot more about caring, loving, and sharing a special time together. And we realize that despite any differences or problems that we have or things that we're currently facing, we need to come together. I'd like to say thank you for listening to my TED Talk, an idea worth spreading.